Welcome to today's video. The MMA world has got a lot of interesting and shocking events happening in it of recent, especially around the UFC 271 on Saturday. Tuivasa unbelievably knocked out the knockout king, Derrick Lewis, which has got everyone talking. Jared to confront Israel Adesanya over the middleweight title, Israel Adesanya wins Whittaker again, and many more. Relax and watch till the end, you don't want to miss this. Shall we? Dustin Poirier wants a fight with Nate Diaz, says, I don't really want to fight Conor again. That door is closed. Dustin Poirier and Nate Diaz have been conversing with each other on social media for a while now and have expressed interest in fighting each other. Both UFC legends are focusing on fighting each other after the missed opportunity for a fight that was scheduled between them at UFC 230 in November 2018. The fight could not occur as Diaz pulled out by walking out of a press conference ahead of that event. Poirier, due to an injury, was later forced to withdraw anyway. Ever since then, both have not gotten a chance for a matchup. According to Diaz, it seems that UFC has been hesitant to book the matchup, but the former UFC interim lightweight champion Dustin Poirier is quite confident that a deal to fight Nate will eventually get done. I think there's a good chance it's gonna happen. I think summer is a good target if I had to put one on the calendar. I'm not sure, but I have a good feeling it's going to happen. Poirier said to the media at a backstage scrum during UFC 271 at the Toyota Center. Nate Diaz also expressed his desire in his talk with TMZ to fight Poirier and said he wants this to be his retirement fight as he gets out of the fight game. I want the fight now. What's up with Dana White? Let's get this retirement fight cracking so I can get out of this fighting game. I'm done with it, he said. Aside from the Diaz fight, Poirier has potential bouts with former teammate Colby Covington and a longtime rival Conor McGregor. Poirier said he does not have any interest in fighting Covington and that fighting McGregor is not something he really wants since he has defeated him twice in a row already in their last fights.
No, I'll never fight Colby in an octagon where there's finances on the line. Me and Conor have history, fighting him at 45, then bumping up, fighting him 7 years later, beating him. And even that fight, I'm probably not going to fight Conor again. I don't really want to fight Conor again. For me, that door is closed. The only reason I do it is for money.
Dustin Poirier lost to McGregor in 2014, then 7 years later went on to beat him twice. Despite making huge sums of money from beating McGregor twice and then challenging for the lightweight title, Poirier has no desire to return for a fourth fight with the Notorious as he feels he has proved enough. Poirier stated that he respects Nate and his brother and had watched them while he grew up in his mother's house. He said fighting Nate Diaz is a fight of the year type of fight and that's the kind of fight he wants to be a part of. Would you love to see both of them fight? What do you predict would be the outcome of the match if scheduled? Share your comments in the comment section below. Israel Adesanya defended his title as the middleweight champion on Saturday. See some of the top reactions of the UFC community. Israel Adesanya retained his title as the middleweight champion on Saturday when he won via unanimous decision in the rematch against Robert Whittaker in the UFC 271 main event, which took place at Toyota Center in Houston. Robert lost the title in 2019 and he knew that he had a difficult puzzle to solve if he was going to ever regain it. Unfortunately for him, he was unable to dominate over Adesanya and bring him to submission. Dana White commented on the fight saying, Whittaker came in better shape and obviously mentally in a much better place than the first fight. He's a former world champion and one of the best in the world, and that's how the fight played out. Hear what the UFC community has to say about this rematch on Twitter. Khabib Nurmagomedov, my heart with Robert, but my mind with Adesanya. Marvin Vittori, man, give me any of these guys. Anytime. Whittaker is fighting scared. Bilal Muhammad, man, Izzy is a genius and movement in striking. Phil Murphy, 10-9, Adesanya. He remains a puzzle that Whittaker hasn't yet figured out. Teddy Atlas, besides everything else, Adesanya has great eyes, he chooses right punch to throw there, down pipe. Dominic Cruz, Adesanya is attacking the lead leg of Whittaker to take away all the power and forward boxing pressure. Whittaker cannot win moving backward, he must check kicks with forward pressure. The Rock, damn! Incredible to see Izzy only breathing through his nose midway through fourth, not even sitting down between rounds. discipline, control, both these guys. Michael Chandler, trust me, I love Izzy, but we have gotten to a point where a dominant champ just needs to stand there, throw a few shots per round, and he will not lose until he gets caught, and he will always get the nod. Izzy got paid on this last contract. Go fight, don't you dare spar. Michael Carroll, Israel Adesanya's 11-fight UFC win streak at middleweight is the second longest win streak in 185-pound history. Dan Tom, scores sound right to me, as Adesanya retains. Feel for Rob, but Adesanya is a great martial artist and good for the sport, so happy for him as well. Good night, all in all. Eric Koch, I don't understand, I'm a fan of Izzy. That being said, his highlights are low kicks. Rob landed more hands and got takedowns. Any other person besides Jones, they barely score low kicks over punches. Israel Adesanya defeats Robert Whittaker. What's in next for Israel Adesanya? On Saturday, Israel Adesanya defended his middleweight title at the UFC 271 rematch against Whittaker. He was able to avoid the inevitable takedown threat from Whittaker and outstruck him in every round to win by unanimous decision from the judges. After this, who can topple Israel Adesanya from his reign as the middleweight champion? Jared Cannonier, ranked number 3 on the main card, picked up his win by defeating Derek Brunson. At the post-fight interview, Jared grabbed the attention of Dana White and demanded a shot at the middleweight title, which means fighting with Israel Adesanya. Dana White later confirmed that Killa Gorilla, as he is often called, will be the next to fight for the belt. I was excited to see how that fight would play out. It was an awesome fight, and yeah, I'm not going to say no to Cannonier, Dana White said. Adesanya said he told Cannonier before UFC 271 that he wanted him to beat Brunson. This is interesting. Do you think Jared Cannonier is capable of overthrowing Israel Adesanya to wear the middleweight crown? Comment below. Tai Tuivasa shocks everyone, defeats the knockout king, Derek Lewis. It was shocking to see Tai Tuivasa Bam Bam defeat the knockout king, Derek Lewis at UFC 271 co-main event at Toyota Center by second round knockout. Could there be a new knockout king in the UFC heavyweight division? This is definitely what Tai Tuivasa is working towards, as he described the fight as passing off the torch. He's had his time, and I think this is the passing of the torch. If I keep up doing what I'm doing and keep focusing on what I need to focus on, I will one day take over, Tuivasa said. This is the biggest win ever in his entire career. He's got the most knockouts in heavyweight history, and he went in against a guy who's on a 5-fight knockout streak and is younger. He fought a 29-year-old guy tonight. Derek Lewis is a bad boy, and he's been a lot of fun to have in our heavyweight division here. He's very beloved here in the town of Houston and around the world. He's a pretty big star for us. Dana commented about the fight. Here's some of the reactions of the UFC community on Twitter. Kevin Ioli, elbow by Tai and Lewis is out. He tumbles down and the fight is over. Tai Tuivasa wins by knockout, and here comes the shuri. Simon Samano, Tuivasa folded Lewis, oh my. Andre Philly, that's Samoan power. Congrats Yuso. Ben Askren, Tuivasa chin is crazy. Ow, he puts Lewis down. Lena Vanata, Bam Bam just shocked everyone. Mel Kikawa, super proud of Derek Lewis. Regardless of this fight, he always brings it. Congrats Tai. Brad Tavares, wow, Tai Tuivasa chin is something else. Brian Barberina, Bam Bam, Tuivasa not scared to bang. The Rock, holy shit, huge respect for both of these men. Malu Yuso, can Tai Tuivasa become the next most knockout world record holder? What do you think? I'm sure you enjoyed this video, so do well to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you are yet to. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon. See you in the next video. Goodbye.